Hey, we're here with Alex Torrey, CEO of the Rounds. The Rounds is not only a great company that we're going to hear more about, they're also a major sponsor of this event. So awesome to be here sitting with you. And since we've never met until just a second ago, I'd love to just hear more about you, Alex, and your story as a launch into the story of the business. If you don't mind starting in a personal way, kind of what got you into all this.
For sure. Uh, hello. Okay. For sure. Happy to kick things off with a bit of the story. First, very pumped to be here, and I think there's something very cool that the first Green Market is also the first day that the Rounds is live in Atlanta. I think that'll go down as a special date for both of us. So my name is Alex. I grew up in Atlanta. I went to University of Georgia for undergrad, and I was actually in this building when the Rounds, the idea that became the Rounds, was created. I was in the Techstars accelerator, which is here in Ponce.
Shout out to Techstars.
Shout out to Techstars. So 3 years ago, was coming here to do research and really think about the future of a more sustainable last mile delivery. As somebody who has lived in high-rise apartments in city centers without a car for a decade, I have experienced the pain points of getting the boring but very essential products, your household essentials, personal care, pantry staples, the stuff that you and your neighbors are using every day. You're either schlepping big, bulky, heavy products, across town. Again, if you don't have a car, you're paying a premium, frankly, when you're buying from city retail, or you're getting the box within the box within the box when you're going e-commerce and getting the stuff delivered. So started to think about what are ways that we can solve that problem, because I lived in an apartment building with 500 units. I could see 5 other apartment buildings from my building, and I'm not a mathematician, but you just start doing, some basic addition, and you're like, that's a lot of people getting their hand soap delivered in single-use plastic bottles in a box within a box delivered to their front door. That makes no sense. There has to be a better way, and went in to really solve for a more sustainable last mile logistics network.
Yeah, thanks for that intro. What kind of person are you in your friend group? Are you the kind of person that people are annoyed by because you do everything right or try to do everything right, and in learning about
No.
you, they feel bad about themselves? You're not that guy. Okay. I mean, do you really think when you look out at the buildings about the single-use plastic bottles, is that actually something that was like a seed thought for the business?
Very much so, and I think as I get excited by big problems, solving a problem that is big, that can have a big impact. And again, taking a very simple approach to being like, well, how big of a problem is it? Because the moment was a bottle of hand soap, and I threw away the bottle of hand soap, went online, purchased another bottle, exact same bottle. I liked the hand soap, so there was nothing wrong with the hand soap. I wasn't trying to switch the hand soap. I just needed more hand soap, and my bottle was just empty. There was nothing wrong with the bottle. Plastic is designed to last a lifetime, and mine was used for all of 90 days. And swap it out, identical bottles. There was something about like how shocking it is that I'm throwing away the identical thing. It just happens to be empty. Now have literally a box within a box, breaking it down and just thinking like, hold on, like this is for one person to replace one item. I created all of this waste. And then it was a natural, well, like how big of a problem is this? And taking just a very simple approach to, well, I live in a building with 500 units. Everybody uses hand soap. I can literally see 5 buildings and just like, hey, if 50% of people in buildings are getting their hand soap the way I am, I figure that's a reasonable assumption. You add that up and you're like, that's a lot of cardboard. That is a lot of single-use plastic that can be prevented. And it was just that approach of like how, really did want to see like, how can I try and work on a solving a big problem.
Can we take a quick poll here? Has anybody in the audience been to a landfill? Physically, you've been there. Okay, this is an incredible
high ratio of people that have been to landfills. It's a unique crowd.
Who's been to a landfill. If you haven't, definitely check it out. It's a horrible place.
It is.
And to Alex's point, that thought of especially a high-rise building and thinking about that, I mean, it's just so much unnecessary waste. So you talked about a better way. It sounds kind of like you were solving your own problem. How did you think about solving it initially, and then how has it changed to what the Rounds is now?
Yeah, for sure. And so I a large part, and I think this could be a theme. You know, haven't done the research, but I would so gut would say it's probably a theme of some other startup stories, that it's the beginning, you're very naive. It's truly jumping in and being like, how hard can last mile logistics be, right? Last mile logistics is really hard. It is a really complex thing, but I had no idea. And it was just a frustration with like, we will look back in 10, 20 years at this peak time of box to door delivery, and we will think it was foolish. We will think it was a silly thing that we thought it was okay. We thought it was normal for every doorstep in America to have multiple boxes delivered individually, especially with products that you and all your neighbors are using. This is like, we at the Rounds focus on the essentials, the very universal products. And it was just this conviction of like, this is not going to make sense in the future. And it's just how fast can we accelerate the moment of we're all doing it, myself included, to the moment of this, that was silly, and like looking back and thinking that didn't make sense and wanting to accelerate through that path. And when you think about the problem, again, you mentioned landfills, there are real infrastructure constraints. I love solving physical problems, you know, things that you can touch, consumer products. And one of the realities, you're getting to operate in the physical world. You know, roads are only so wide. And this isn't like data storage in a cloud where you can just add more server space and you have more storage space. At the rate we're growing, roads will not be wide enough for delivery trucks. There's not like the infrastructure of the amount of delivery trucks that we need to keep up with box to door e-commerce. Then you say landfills. Landfills are finite. You don't just open up a landfill overnight, and landfills are at capacity already. So a finite resource is at capacity, and we're adding more. In apartment buildings, anybody lives in an apartment building, what is your package room like? It's already overflowing. Like the distribution centers have shifted from big warehouses to your house. Your house is now the distribution center. And it was like, well, my house wasn't designed to be a distribution center. How am I supposed to deal with all of the stuff I'm getting? And so you just started going down this path of like, that's a problem, that's a problem, that's a problem, that's a problem. And that's exciting, because then you're like, wow, if you can build a solution, you're going to knock out a bunch of big problems. And that, I think, is a really exciting space from a starter perspective to go build.
Totally, yeah. I think it's important maybe to pause now and just explain from a customer's perspective what you would experience as a customer of the Rounds. And I'm also very curious to ask you about what you've seen for your business and also for distribution in general, pre-pandemic, through the pandemic, wherever we are now. So this is me preempting my next question, but I think it's probably good to just, what is that customer experience if you're a customer of the Rounds?
Yeah, for sure. So we view all of our customers as members. So it's, you know, you are a member of the Rounds. Being a member of the Rounds means you get access to our weekly delivery. So it is a scheduled delivery, like the old milkman model. We are called the Rounds because we literally make the rounds on the same day every week in your neighborhood. We drop off the products that you're due to get. We pick up your empty containers and can therefore have a closed loop where there's no packaging waste. The experience from the member point of view, you sign up, you build what we call your autopilot. So we carry over 100 essential products, including a bunch of really cool hyper-local products. One of the coolest things about our platform, we're live in Philadelphia, DC, Miami, and our newest market is Atlanta. In each of those markets, we're able to really champion and celebrate hyper-local coffee, hyper-local bread, the stuff that you want anyway as somebody who lives in Atlanta. Those businesses do very well on our platform. So you're picking all of the products that you want, the basics, the essentials, the stuff that you need, but nobody gets any enjoyment out of shopping for. And then you start to adjust your cadence. So we call it your autopilot. These are recurring products. We make it really easy on our tech for you to drag and drop when you need these products. Do you need it now? Do you need it soon? Do you need it later? So we've changed the experience because these are, again, products that you're getting all of the time. So you've signed up, you've created your profile, you start to adjust your autopilot, and then it's set it and forget it. It's truly a predictive engine that is able to start to better understand your usage so that you never run out. And if you never, it's the problem with right now, we're taking a speed approach of like, you've seen the 15-minute grocery delivery and it's faster, faster, faster. Speed is really expensive and not everything is time sensitive. If you need laundry detergent in 15 minutes, something else broke in the system. We shouldn't have to use a really expensive logistics method to get you laundry detergent in 15 minutes. So we're building the system that prevents you from ever needing it in 15 minutes. You truly get to set it and forget it. These products show up at your door every week. You leave out your empties, go on about your life and getting to use your time on things that are, much more valuable than managing your essential products.
Well, this was a quick and windy conversation. I'd love to talk to you more. Since we have a very engaged audience of landfill visitors, how many of you have visited the rounds tables throughout the property? Okay, Alex, can you tell them what, for those who have not visited the rounds, made the rounds to visit the rounds at the various locations, can you tell them what they're missing out on by not stopping by? Because I think you have some promotional offers today, right?
We absolutely do. So this is literally our first day live in Atlanta, so it's a very exciting day for us. And to celebrate the first day of our launch, we're offering a 1-year free membership to anybody that signs up. Normally the membership is $6 a month. That's $6.0. So it's an accessible membership. But by signing up today for the first year, you don't even pay the $6. You're able to start to build your bundle. We're starting to make deliveries next week. We'll be making the first drops. We have rounders that you'll start to see on our e-bikes. They make the rounds to your neighborhood. They'll be dropping off the first bundles, but you can go sign up. We have a table right here at the entrance, and then one at the farmers market. Get the sweet 1-year free membership, and give us a shot. You also get those super sweet tote bag that we have over there, and they're enjoying the King of Pops and not listening to the tote bag.
Shout out to the rounds tote bag over there, Alex Fodietis. All right, you heard it here. Go get your free membership. Go get the rounds tote bag. Alex, thank you for being here. Thanks for sharing your story. Thank you for sponsoring this event, last night's event as well. Appreciate what you're doing for us and for the earth.
Awesome. Thank you for doing it.
Cheers.
Bye. That's great.